What's up? This is Trevor Dow Trader. This is my second attempt recording this video because the first time I didn't have the microphone on. So we're going to look at some charts here. Let's start off with SPY on the weekly chart. As you can see, clear back since April, we've been on a parabolic move to the upside. This last week, we have basically a doji candle here. That could be a sign that things are cooling off. Um, But on the weekly chart, as long as we stay above this level right here at 637.65, I don't think bulls have anything to worry about in the long term. Head on over to the daily chart. As you can see here, on the 23rd, the 24th, the 25th, we had a, somewhat decent pullback. It was nothing more than slight profit taking as far as I'm concerned. Uh, the uptrend has began to form again. That doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go back to all-time highs right now. Something I could see for Monday is possibly is price coming up to the 664.50 level. If it rejects off that level, we could get a lower high and head back down. Um, if it can break above that level, get some price acceptance, get a higher low above that level, then I would definitely expect that we go back to all-time highs. So that 664.50 is kind of the key here on SPY. This week's expected move is 669.64 on the high side, 666.54 on the low side. That really implies a higher high and a higher low, which could imply possibly we are heading into some type of bounce range. Let's head over here to QQQ on the weekly chart. QQQ also has this doji type candle, and as long as we stay above, let me zoom in here because I really can't see these levels. As long as we stay above this 576.50 level on the weekly, I really don't think bulls have anything to worry about in the longer term. If we head on over here to the daily chart, looks much like the SPY chart does. We had these several days of pullback. The uptrend has started to form again. 598 is kind of that key level over here on the SPY. If it rejects there, we could be looking at a lower high and possibly heading back down, creating a head and shoulders type pattern on the daily chart. But if we get some price acceptance above that, I would expect that we head back to all-time highs. Also, expected move on QQQ this week, 605.74 high, 586.36 to the low side, implying both a higher high and a lower low could again possibly mean that we could be heading to some type of bounce. Let's head over here to the NVIDIA daily chart. NVIDIA has been like watching grass grow. I have been waiting forever, it seems, for NVIDIA to break above 183.75, give us a higher low, so I can take a long on this thing. I mean, it's been clear the heck back since July 30th. We've been waiting for this. That's pretty unreal. Um, Other than that, it's in a bounce range and it's not been the best trader lately. Not at all. Let's head over here to Tesla. Tesla has been parabolic lately. You can give it that. You could see here on Tesla, we have a very convincing and clear bull flag. What I am waiting for on Tesla, as you can see by my alert set here, I want price to come above this 443.50 level, give us a higher low, and I'll be taking longs, hopefully all the way up to all-time highs, and getting paid like crazy. Uh, the only spot where I would even start looking short on Tesla is below this, in this gap down here, 402.40. Let's head over to the Apple chart and kind of waiting for a few days for Apple. Also, Apple on a very clear, convincing, even more convincing than Tesla bull flag. Um, what we're waiting for over here is price to get above this 253.60 level, give us a lower high. Then we're heading to all-time highs, possibly further. That's absolutely the trade on Apple right now that everybody is waiting for. Palantir, watching grass grow again. Palantir, I've been waiting forever on this one as well for price to get above 183.60. Give us a higher low, and then I'll be targeting 189, which I think is the all-time high. Yeah, I'm targeting all-time highs from there. AMD, severely watching grass grow lately. What I am waiting for on AMD, I'm waiting for a break above 163.65 with a higher low, with price acceptance. And then taking longs to this 169.50 level and hopefully beyond that. For shorts on AMD, I would not consider shorts unless we got all the way down to this gap down here, below 152.50. Get a lower high below 152.50, I'm in. Oracle, one that I did take a trade on today, and I also posted the trade idea last night on X, on Facebook, on Discord, which was before today. Okay, so I posted that trade idea. The trade idea was there's a massive gap down here. And the idea was that if we could get below this 291.82, get a lower high off of that, then we could start closing some of this gap. I did warn that there was several levels down here. I did warn that it was unlikely to close in one day. I just took a little scalp off of Oracle today. Um, let's take a look at Google. Google's been in kind of a pullback mode here. Let's see. On Google, if we can get above this 253 level, get a lower high above that, I would target all-time highs with that. Otherwise, the only time I would even start to begin to think about scalping shorts, only scalps, would be below 242.50. Microsoft. There's a great trade brewing on Microsoft, but it's taking its sweet time to get there. It's watching grass grow. So what I'm waiting for on Microsoft, and you could probably see it better on the hourly chart. I'm waiting for price to get below this 506.47 level. Give us a lower high, then I'll target 503. You can see we just got this thin structure over here to the left-hand side, which should make, and then once it gets below that, it's got this double top, if not, I guess you could call it a head and shoulders, or it's definitely some type of long reversal pattern back to the short side. So if we get below it, accurates overhead supply, traps buyers up here. Then you got thin structure over here to the left-hand side, which should make cruising on down to this 503 level, no problem. It'll be a great trade when and if it does happen. And I'm going to take a quick break right there. So I'm just want to talk about something else. Are you a trader that's made the same mistakes over and over again? Are you a trader that isn't journaling your trades and using the data from that to improve? If so, when are you going to make the changes required to become a profitable trader? This isn't an easy process and it takes a lot of work. It is definitely not easy. So it just so happens I have a solution for you. StrategyForge is a badass trading journal. It literally tracks every aspect of your trading, from times you traded best and worst, what strategies work, which ones don't work for you, how does it affect your trading when you break a rule. It tracks your emotions and how they affect your trading. It tracks your profit and loss in relation to your emotions. It tracks your goals. It literally tracks every aspect of your trading and provides data on everything. Not only that, it has built-in AI, that's built-in artificial intelligence to help you figure out what is hurting, what is working, and tips to improve. And personally, I would say if there is a holy grail in trading, this is it. A trade journal that tracks everything, gives you data that you can use to improve. And it just so happens that I personally, me, Trent, own StrategyForge. I also developed StrategyForge. And it just so happens I'm adding more features every single day. Also, I've made it cheap. In fact, insanely dirt cheap for what it provides. Cheap, I've made it cheaper than I believe every professional trading journal out there. Um, so if you're ready to make the changes to drastically improve your trading, and if you don't drastically improve your trading after using this journal for a long time, you're not using it right and you're not trying and you're definitely doing something wrong. So go to strategyforgejournal.com. That's strategyforgejournal.com. Forge is Forge, just in case you didn't know. Use code strategy in all caps, get a month free or an extra $25 off an already deeply discounted annual rate. Plus, get a free trial on top of your free month. There's no credit card required. And as Donald Trump would say, you have nothing to lose, only to gain. Okay? Um, Let me just pop up my developer version of the program if I can real quick. Give you a quick glance at the dashboard. This is the dashboard, okay? Measures everything. There's trades. Here's the analytics tab. I'm just going to quickly scroll through it. Gives you everything, literally everything. On down here, you have your AI trading assistant. Hey AI, how can I improve my trading? And it's going to look at your data and give you stuff. It's got goals. Here's the goals and the goal tracking. Little charts tracking your goals. And guess what? They're smart goals. So depending on the type of goal you put in there, it can automatically track that your progress towards that goal based off the data in your trades. Playbook. You create a strategy here, then you add the entry rules, the exit rules. This thing tracks everything. You can't beat it. I will shut up about it now and get back to the charts. I'm sorry. Uh, Back to the charts. Let's take a look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan has been kind of in this bounce range at the all-time highs for several days. Just today, it broke above that 315.80 level. If on Monday it could come back, test that level and give us some type of hammer candle, some type of sign that it's holding at that level, then we can take a long at the top of that, let's say 2-minute hammer candle and head on back to the all-time high and maybe even further. Let me just see if there was any other charts I was gonna discuss. Let me just glance at hood. I can't remember if there was anything there I wanted to talk about really or not. I would just say, if on hood, if we could come down and close this gap, I'd be looking for a gap fill reversal. Again, some type of hammer candle or something off the bottom of this gap or off of 118.55, 57. If we could pull back there, get some type of hold candle set up, then I would be looking to take longs back level to level, probably, hopefully heading back to all-time highs. Shorts, I'm really not looking for shorts unless we get below this 113.75. I think I basically covered everything else. I'll just go over the Russell real quick. IWM. And I will share with you that just last night I posted a trade idea on the Russell. My idea was that the gap from over here on Wednesday had not closed completely. So today, on Friday, there was a good chance that if we could get it below yesterday high a day, which was right here, get a higher low above that, then we would have a good shot at closing that gap. And as I always preach in all analysis, gap analysis that I post anywhere and everywhere, when there's a gap fill, you want to look for a gap fill reversal. Let's head on over to the 2-minute chart, see what happened here. So, so it came up here and filled. I got a, I got a bug on my table. Sorry. All right, so it came up here and filled, and look what happened. We got this inverted 2-minute hammer candle right off the gap close. And I was there and watching, smart enough to take a short right off the low of that candle, came all the way back down to the opening print, just like a textbook gap close and refill that I always preach about, that I always talk about. So, you know. Just saying, stuff works. If you're taking good setups, if you're watching for confirmations, if you're using market internals, this stuff absolutely works. And most importantly, if you're journaling your trades and using the data to improve. That is all I have. Most important thing in trading is protect your capital. So set some goals for yourself this week. And every day at 9:29, no, at 9:30, when that market bell rings, stop and remember your goals. If you just do that little trick, you are bound to improve. Okay? At 9:30, instead of going, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Remember your goals, stay calm, let the first 2-minute candle close, look at market internals, look at tick, look at ADT, see what the temperature of the market is, see what's happening. Are prices on any of these majors getting close to any key levels? That's how you do it. All right, I'll shut up now. Keep your accounts green. Have a good one.